Okay, so in the last lecture, we have discussed about the problems related to the sequencing. Okay, and in the last lecture, we have discussed the problem of n jobs and 3 machines. Today, in this lecture, we are going to discuss, first of all, the limitations of a PPC and then material requirement planning system. Okay, or material requirement planning procedure. So up till now, we have deal with the production planning and production control, and we know the objectives of this production planning and controlling, and what are the different functions of production planning and what are the different functions of a production control. But as we know that this is one kind of a department in any industries, so it is also having some kinds of a restriction to implement all the functions of a PPC for the industry. So here some of the limitations I have mentioned, that our first one is nothing but this PPC for any planning things in the industries required some forecasting, okay, or the future perspective of the sale of particular good in the market, okay, and accordingly the forecasted demand, the planning related to the capacity, then availability of a material will be done or managed in the industries. So forecasting may we know that the forecasting will provide you the data about the future, but it is not always the accurate one, or it is not always the always provide the good forecasting every time. Okay, sometimes there will be some uncertainties will happen, and because of that there will be the drastic change required in the planning. So and that will not happen because it is restricted by the capacity of the plant also. Okay, and sometimes there will be a problem related to the material acquisition from the market, like raw material or the spare part which are required for the assembly of different components or for the products. So if these factors are on these factors, this production planning and controlling activities are depend. Because of that, we cannot ensure the 100% success of a PPC every time. Okay, so PPC, that will be the limitation for production planning and controlling. And whenever there is a situation to increase the production level as per the set norms, okay, we have to set up the norms of a production as per the work quality. So we know that for that purpose we required work measurement and time study tools which will set up the standard time of doing any task. And if you do that and we have assigned the particular task to the worker, and we have provided the standard time and number of a component should be produced by that particular worker in a day time period or in a month time period. So if it is happened already, and suddenly according to the market situation you want to do the correction in your plan, you want to do the correction in your schedule, and suddenly you want to increase the number of production, so at that time the workers will resist for that. Okay, and they will not cope up with the changes that are happening in the production levels. Okay, so that will be impacted on a production planning and controlling. Also some processes like if you consider the manufacturing of some large components, okay, like cranes, like ships, okay, where number of components are very much or the quantity of required components are very much high, and processing for such a component or producing such a component will be not that much effective way to implement the production planning and controlling for such a components, or schedule preparing the schedule of or providing the task of a large component to different machines. So that will be the hectic work. Okay, because it required, because number of components are very much high, Okay, and or the large scale components are there, or if the component require number of processes, large number of processes. Okay, so in that case it will be difficult to provide the routing for that component, to provide the scheduling for that particular component. So these functions will be the critical one for the production and planning and controlling department to carry out the routing and to carry out the scheduling functions. Okay, and also some of the countries, like if you consider the north side countries or western side countries, where the environment changes continuously. Okay, so winter season there, the snowfall is there in their area, and the environment conditions, if not suitable to work in the industry, so that will be the difficult situation to run the schedule in the industry as per the plan. So the functions of a PPC becomes very much difficult, or the function on the functions of a PPC, there will be the large impact of an environment, and the situation changes rapidly. Okay, so these are the some of the limitations related to the PPC. To implement the functions related to PPC on industries, and we need to take care of that also. Okay, so then next point is related to material requirement planning. Okay, next heading you can give material requirement planning, or you can write, complete the write up part, limitations of a PPC. Write down limitations of a PPC. In that you can write the first point, PPC function is based on PPC function is based on certain assumptions. PPC function is based on certain assumptions or forecasts. PPC function is based on certain assumptions or forecasts of a customer's demand, or forecast of customers' demand, comma, plant capacity, comma, availability of materials, etc. Second limitation is employee may resist change in production level. Employee may resist change in production level set as per the production plan. Change in production level set as per the production plan. Third one is, this process is time consuming. When need to carry out, this process is time consuming when need to carry out routing and scheduling function, for large products. This function, next point, this function become difficult. This function become difficult when environmental factors changes rapidly. When environmental factors changes rapidly. Okay, when environmental factors changes rapidly. Okay, so this is about the limitations of a PPC. Then last point we are going to discuss from this chapter, that is nothing but material requirement planning, and in short form it is called as a MRP. Okay, material requirement planning, in short form it is called as a MRP technique. Okay, so it is one kind of a management tool used to plan the things which are related to the materials. Okay, as per the name suggested, that is material requirement planning. So whatever the required things are there, required materials are there, the planning related to that required material will be considered under this particular tool, that is nothing but MRP. Okay, and now the planning related to material is nothing but what? So first thing is nothing but planning related to the quantity. How much quantity is required to produce the particular good? Okay, let us consider that I'm producing one product, and for that purpose, I required 10 different nut and bolts. Okay, 10 different nuts and 10 different bolts. I required that thing. And now that 10 different nut and bolts, how much quantity I required? Okay, how much quantity I required. So that is the another thing. So that will come to know from which thing? From the master schedule. Okay, so initially master schedule will be prepared. So master schedule will suggest you what? That how much quantity of products will be produced in a stipulated time period. Okay, how much quantity of a products will produce in a stipulated time period. Okay, that thing will come to know from the master schedule. Now according to that master schedule, once again we will come to know that how much number of products are required. Okay, and then we will come to know that at what time these products will be produced. Okay, so the reverse management will be done in a material requirement planning. That is, if this product will be produced after 10 days. Okay, so when I required the quantity, required quantity to produce one batch of products, or let us say 100 number of products, and when I should purchase that particular quantity from the market. Okay, when I should purchase that required material quantity from the market. Okay, so here material requirement planning is a technique for determining the quantity and timing of the acquisition of dependent demand items needed to satisfy master production schedule requirement. Now master production schedule, we know that in that we have planned the things, or we have planned related to the requirement of materials and related to the product requirement. Okay, and which processes are going to perform on that particular products, and the timing of that particular processes. So all that things are present or prepared in a master scheduling, and according to that master scheduling, we need to plan the required materials. Okay, we need to schedule we will get from the master scheduling, and according to that schedule, we have to plan the things. We have to plan the things related to the material. Okay, related to the material. So that is nothing but material requirement planning. Okay, and the philosophy behind that is material should be expedited when there is lack would delay the overall production schedule. Okay, what this philosophy suggests you, whenever there is the delay in the production because of a material lacuna, or because of a non-availability of a material, at that time the material requirement or materials should be evaluated. So this is the philosophy behind this particular process, that is material requirement planning. Getting my point? When the production schedule is delayed because of a lack of a material, lack or non-availability of a materials, whatever required to produce that good, at that time the evaluation related to materials should be carried out. Okay, evaluation of a materials means which which type of a material required, in which quantity it is required, and at what time it is required. So that is nothing but expedited. Material should be expedited, that is nothing but evaluated for the production process. Now here, the aim of MRP, that is nothing but material requirement planning, is first of all, we need to renewal a production inventory. Okay, renewal of production inventory or a product's inventory. Then to meet the customer order. Okay, this is the ultimate goal of a production system, that we need to fulfill the customer's order, and to fulfill the customer's order, we have to generate the good quality product at a good time with a reasonable cost, and it should be delivered on time to the customer. Okay, so that will be the production system objective, and that is also objective for the we can say that the material requirement planning, MRP. And the second thing is nothing but renewal of a product's inventory. Now here, what do you think renewal means? Inventory means we are keeping the products in a stock as per the to cope up the forecasted demand, or to cope up the demand of a particular product in the market. Okay, and we have to fill up or refill up, that is nothing but replenishment of an inventory at a particular level. Okay, and once again, we have to fill up the inventory, and we have to maintain particular stock to adjust the market situation. Okay, and this in this process, this material requirement planning helps to the various department or to the production department to keep the required inventory related to the finished goods, and to keep the required inventory related to the raw materials. Okay, or we can say that partially produced goods, or the spare parts. Okay, the spare parts required spare. So this MRP is also helpful to maintain the proper inventory of finished goods, and also it is helpful to maintain the proper inventory of spare parts and the raw materials. Okay, getting everyone? Now, which things we will come to know by using MRP? So there are some few questions, and these questions are answered by MRP process only. Okay, so first is nothing but what do you want to produce and when. Okay, आप क्या प्रोड्यूस करना चाहते हो और कब प्रोड्यूस करना चाहते हो. So that will be answered, or it will be provided by master production schedule. Okay, then second question is what components are required to make it and how many. Okay, कौन से different components आपको लगने वाले ये प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए, और वो कितने लगने वाले हैं. Now I have initially given one example related to that. I required 10 different nut and bolts, and I want at what level I want that, and at what time I want that. So that will come to know from bill of material. Okay, in a bill of material, all the specification related to the spare parts, related to the product materials and the operations required to produce that product, all are mentioned in a bill of material. So here, what components are required to make it and how many. Okay, so that we will come to know from bill of material. Then the third question is how many are already scheduled to be available in each future period. Okay, so that will come to know from the inventory status file. Okay, inventory status file means what? Inventory record, whatever the inventory record are maintained, from that we'll come to know that already how much are available, or already how much in the stock, and how much we want to procure for the future period. Okay, then the next question is how many more we want or we need to obtain for each future period. Okay, then when to order this amount, so they will be available when needed. Okay, so that will be answered by planned order release. Okay, so planned order release means what? So if we want some material, so it is not like that we go to that shop and we have given the money to the shopkeeper, and that shopkeeper will provide you the required good. It is not that much easy. for the industries. Industry need to release the order. Okay, industry need to release the order from the purchase department for the particular party. Okay, and to release that order, the purchase order from the industry, the purchase department need to compare the cost, need to compare the materials, and then and then only the order will be released for the specific party who will fulfill all the requirements of that particular material. Okay, in this manner the orders are released. So uh, the amount or order amount, okay, will be decided by the purchase department, and they will release that particular order. So there should be a proper plan for the procurement of a material, and according to that plan the orders are released. According to that particular plan the orders are released. So when to order this amount, which whatever the required to produce the good, so that will be available, and when it will be available according to the requirement, that will be done by the planned order release. Okay, so these questions, all these questions are answered by using the an MRP process or material requirement process. Okay, MRP process or a material requirement process. So what are the different objectives of a MRP? So first objective is nothing but inventory reduction. Now inventory means what? The maintaining the stock of a product, whether it may be the related to the raw material, or it may related to the finished goods, or it may related to the work in progress inventory, that we called as a semi finished products, and in a short form it is called as a WIP. So there are three types of inventory, we know that. And inventory, if the amount of inventory goes on increasing, then the capital of that particular firm or the industry will get blocked in that inventory, and the cash flow will be reduced for the industry. Okay, so that is the first problem related to the inventory. And the space, okay, the charges, if you want to take the go down on a lease, so you need to pay the charges for that particular space. Okay, so in a similar fashion, if you are acquiring the space of an industry, okay, then it will be difficult to function, or it will difficult to maintain that inventory as per the requirement. Okay, so maintaining large amount of inventory is not a good thing for the industries. Okay, and industry always want to reduce the inventory level. Okay, industry always want to reduce the inventory level, but want to maintain the safety stock. Okay, but want to maintain the safety stock to tackle the market fluctuation. Okay, so here the first objective of a MRP system is nothing but to reduce the inventory level. And how it will be happen? By maintaining the proper scheduling or proper procurement of a material as per the requirement of a product from the market. Okay, and for that purpose, the timely or according to the schedule, the material orders, purchasing orders, or the procurement orders should be released in the market. Okay, then the third objective is nothing but realistic delivery commitment. Okay, so sometimes we have experienced all the things that if you are sitting at one place, and if you are calling to your friend and you are saying that where you are, so he's saying that I'm in this at this particular corner, and within 5 minutes I will reach to you. Okay, so and after a half an hour also that particular friend will not able to reach to you. So that things also happen in the industries, and the customers are frustrated because of such a commitment from the parties, or we can say that from the industries. So and that will reduce the reputation of an industry. So the company should provide the realistic commitment to the customer, so that the material should be reached to the customer before the due date or committed date. Okay, so MRP objective is that only need to deliver the product to the customer as per the commitment. And the last one is nothing but increase the efficiency. So when the utilization of the industries will get increased, and then only the efficiency of the industries, or we can say that the firm will get increased. So here the utilization of the industry or the materials or the manpower or the machines or the space, okay, all these utilization will be improved by proper implementation of MRP system, okay, and that will be the objective of a MRP processing, okay. So what are the different functions of a MRP? So first is nothing but order planning and control. So we just discuss about the what is meant by ordering the material, okay, and the plan for that and how to control that things. So that will comes under the MRP. So here the task is related to the release of order and how much quantity should be provided in that particular order, okay. So all the quantities we should not purchase at a time if the bulk order is there, okay, or bulk purchases is required. So in that case, because we need to maintain the inventory of that also, and that storage cost is also increases with respect to the time. So here the order should be released according to the requirement, and for that purpose the release dates or the schedule of order release should be prepared, and how much quantity should be purchased, okay. So sufficient quantity should be purchased so that the requirement will be fulfilled and there will not be the extra charge related to the inventory, okay. Then the second thing is priority planning and controlling, how the expected date of availability is compared to needed date for each component, okay. Priority planning and controlling means what, कब वो मटेरियल कंपनी में आ रहा है और कब उस मटेरियल की जरूरत है प्रोडक्शन के लिए. सो दैट इज नथिंग बट द एक्सपेक्टेड डेट, at what date the raw material or the required part will be available in the industry and when it is required for the product. So the mutual understanding or to match these dates, the planning is required, and that will be provided by the MRP. That is nothing but priority planning and controlling. And the last one is provision of a basis planning capacity required and the developing broad business plans, okay. So it will provide the basis for the capacity planning, and also it will helpful to enhance the business plans, okay, to enhance the business plans. Now the MRP system, how it will work, okay. For the MRP system, the inputs are to be considered as a master production schedule, okay, and it will be considered as a MPC. Second thing is nothing but the input for the material requirement planning or MRP, it will be considered as a inventory status file or the inventory record, and also the bill of a material. So these three things will be considered as an input for the material requirement planning, okay. And according to these inputs, the program may will be prepared, okay. So this MRP system will be carried out by using the programs or by using the softwares. So these three inputs will be provided to the softwares, and the output will get in these three forms. So outputs are nothing but the first output is release of orders or order release requirements. So, and second thing is nothing but plant or the order rescheduling, and the third thing is nothing but plant orders, okay. So first order release, okay. So कब आपको order release करना है, okay. If the order is not fulfilled, then rescheduling of that particular order will comes in the picture, and what will be the orders to purchase the same material or the different kinds of materials or the spare parts in the future, and what will be the order schedule to purchase that thing. So that will be the planned order. So future orders we will get, okay, through this software. Then scheduling order will get through the software, and rescheduling if any order will get bounced, okay, or the material is not provided as per the requirement, then rescheduling of that particular order, okay. So all these three outputs will be provided by the MRP system, and the inputs are to be considered as a First is nothing but master production schedule, second is nothing but bill of a material, and third is nothing but the inventory status file or the inventory record. Okay, so these three are the input and three are the output for the material requirement planning. Getting everyone? So what are the different factors of MRP? So first one is nothing but main production plan, second is product tree, third one is the inventory situation folder, performance report, then planned order schedule and special situation reports. So these are the factors. Now just we have discussed that production plan or MPS. Okay, master production plan or MPS is the input. Then product tree. Okay, so product tree means what? Here the basic product, okay, will be prepared by using 10 different spare parts. Let us consider 10 different spare parts, and the operations required to attach that product spare parts to the main products. So or different kinds of operation to produce the final product. So that will comes under the product trees. Then inventory situation, number of inventory available, raw material inventory or a finished good inventory, and what will be the schedule to achieve the remaining inventory or the remaining schedule, and at what date we are getting that final product. So that will be the that will comes under the inventory situation folder. Then performance report related to the material. Okay, then the planned order schedule, so that will be the output of a MRP. What will be the schedule to purchase the material or to procure the material. Then special situation reports, whenever there is some critical condition, what actions are taken during that critical condition or during the problems arises in the industry related to the material, and what actions need to take or taken previously, that will be helpful to the future whenever such a problem will arise in the industry. So that will be the special situation reports. So these are the factors which are related to the MRP. Then what are the advantages of MRP? So if you follow the MRP system and you are able to implement the 100% MRP system in our industry, then whenever you are going to quote particular product price in the market, then it will be lesser as compared to your competitors. Okay, as compared to your competitors. Okay, because your extra heads or extra cost for the for maintaining the inventory, for block for we can say that for providing the extra facilities for occupying the space of that particular extra inventory, that overhead cost will get reduced, and the actual cost will be very much less if these overhead costs are get reduced. Okay, so you are able to quote the minimum price for the production of that particular product to your customer, and due to that your price will be more competitive than your customer than your competitors. Okay, so here the second is nothing but reduce the inventory. We plan the order schedule properly, and if you implement that order schedule properly, then it will help to reduce the inventory level. Then reduce the price, as I have said, that you will able to quote that product price very competitively as compared to your competitor. Then better customer service, you are able to deliver the product on time, and you are able to follow your commitment as you have given to the customer. So here you will get the better customer services. Then better response to market demands, as we are fluctuating or as we are responding here with respect to the market, and whenever you are maintaining the proper safety staff, you are able to respond properly with the market demand. Then ability to change master schedule. So here according to the material, you are able to change the master schedule also, because without material you cannot proceed further. So the material changes will be done in the master schedule also. Okay, and the idle time will get reduced, as the work in progress for the products will get reduced, as the products or the raw materials will be available in time to the machines. So machine will not be any will not be in idle condition for long time period, and because of that your idle time will get reduced and your production time will get saved, and which will be converted into a profit for the industry. Okay, as you are saving the production time. Okay, so this will be the last slide. Thank you for the listening patiently. We will complete the write-up part for MRP. Okay, material requirement planning. Write down material requirement planning. Material requirement planning. Write down. In that, material requirement planning, MRP, in bracket MRP is a technique. Material requirement planning in bracket MRP is a technique for determining the quantity, and the timing of the acquisition of dependent demand items needed to satisfy master production schedule requirements. Philosophy of MRP. In that you can write material should be expedited when there is lack material should be expedited when their lack would delay the overall production schedule. The next aim of MRP is renewal of products inventory, Second one, to meet customer demands or customer orders, Then next, write down following question addressed in MRP processing. The first one is, what do we want to produce? And when? Provided by master production schedule. Then second one, what components are required to make it, and how many? So that will be answered by bill of material. Okay. So dash bill of materials. Bill of materials in bracket BOM. Third one, how many are already scheduled? How many are already scheduled to be available in? How many are already scheduled to be available in each future period? Each future period. That will be answered by inventory status file. So dash inventory status file. The next question, how many more we need? How many more we need to obtain for each future period? How many more we need to obtain for each future period? Then when to order this amount? Next question, when to order these amounts? So they will be available when needed. When to order this amount? So they will be available when needed. Dash planned order release. Planned order release. Then next, what are the different objectives of MRP? MRP objectives are first one, MRP objectives, first one, inventory reduction. Inventory reduction. Second one, reduction in the manufacturing. Reduction in the manufacturing and delivery lead time. Reduction in the manufacturing and delivery lead time. Third one, realistic delivery commitment. Realistic delivery commitment. Then next one, increased efficiency. Realistic delivery commitments. Next one, increased efficiency. Increased efficiency. Next point under MRP, functions served by MRP. Functions served by MRP. First function is order planning and control. Order planning and control. In that you can write when to release order, when to release order, when to release order, when to release order, and for what quantity. When to release order and for what quantity. Then next one, priority planning and control. Priority planning and control. Priority planning and control. In that, how the expected date of availability, how the expected date of availability is compared to need date, is compared to need date for each component, for each component. And the next one, provision of a basis, planning capacity requirement, and developing broad business plan, So these are the functions of MRP. So draw this figure, MRP system. So first block is Centrally, you can give one block as material requirement planning. Below that, you can write the processing logic. Okay, processing logic, that is nothing but software is prepared or program is prepared for the material requirement planning. Okay, so what are the input? First is master production schedule, MPS, so master production schedule, what will provide to the MRP? What product, what you are going to produce and when you are going to produce. So that two things will come from master production schedule, MPS. Then next, bill of materials. Bill of materials, that is BOM. So BOM, what will provided BOM to MRP? BOM will provide what different components or what different processes and materials required to produce the finished good. Required to produce the finished good. Then the third input for MRP is inventory status file. So inventory status file, how much already produced or how much already scheduled, that will be provided by inventory status file. Okay, after providing these three inputs to MRP, MRP provides three outputs. MRP provides three outputs. The first one is order release. Requirements, order release requirements, in bracket, order to be placed now. Okay, order to be placed now. Okay, which orders you need to place now only. So that will be provided by MRP. Then the next, cancelled order rescheduling. We can say that orders rescheduling. Orders rescheduling. And the last one, what are the different orders planned in the future? Okay, so planned order in bracket future. Planned order in bracket future. Planned order in bracket future. Okay, over. Then next, factors of MRP. No need to write down. Write down directly the advantages of MRP. Advantages of MRP. In that, the first point is ability to price more competitively. Ability to price more competitively. Second one, reduce the inventory. Second one, reduce the inventory. Third one, reduce the price. Reduce the price. Reduce the price. Next one, better customer service. Better customer service. The next one, better response to market demand. Better response to market demand. Better response to market demand. Then next one, ability to change master schedule. Ability to change master schedule. And the last one, reduce the idle time. Reduce the idle time. Reduce the idle time. Okay. So this chapter is over here only. If you have any question, any doubt from this chapter, you can ask so that Your doubts will be cleared here only. Is there any question, any doubt? Okay, so yesterday's problem, I think the last points are somewhat difficult one. Okay, I hope you understood that. Yeah, about this problem. Okay, so lastly, I need to check 1 minute. So due to the different calls in the last lecture, we are not able to finish properly. This I need to check 1 minute. Okay, time. Okay. Okay, now here we have sequenced. We have sequence. Okay, we have sequenced this all the jobs for the three machines, that is A, D, G, F, B, C, E. Okay. Now we have to find out the elapsed time, and next is nothing but we have to determine the idle time for machine M2 as well as machine M3. Okay. So a job, first of all, we have to install on a M1 machine. So the in time for the a job will be 0, and its processing time on M1 machine, a job's processing time on M1 machine will be 3 hours. Is 3 hours, and due to that, its out time will be 3 hours. Okay. Now this after 3 hours, this job will be installed on M2 machine. Okay, and its processing time on M2 machine is 4 hours. So 3 plus 4, 7. So after 7 hours, this job will be out from M2 machine. Okay, but for initial 3 years, the machine M2 is in idle condition. Initial 3 years, the processing on M1 a job is happening on M1 machine. So for that 3 hours, machine M2 will be in a idle condition. So 3 hours will be the idle time for machine M2. But the job is installed on machine M3 after 7 hours. Okay, after 7 hours. So 7 hours will be considered as idle time for machine M3. Okay, first job is installed on a machine M3 or processed on a machine M3 after 7 hours. So 7 hours will be the idle time for machine M3 for job A on machine M3. Okay. So out time. So 6 hours is the processing time of a job on machine M3. So out time will be 13 hours. Okay. And here idle time will be 7 hours. Okay. Now D job will is installed on machine M1 after 3 hours, because M1 machine is free after 3 hours. So next job will be installed on machine M1 for the processing purpose after 3 hours. Okay. And D job's processing time on machine M1 is 4 hours. So after 7 hours, the machine, this D job will be out from the machine M1. And after 7 hours only, the machine M2 is free for the next job. So after 7 hours, this job is installed on a machine M2, and D job processing time on machine M2 is 5 hours, so that it will be out from machine M2 after 12 hours. Okay, so there will not be any idle time. Machine is not in idle condition for this time period, so idle time will be considered as a 0. Okay, but after getting out from the machine M2, it will be transferred to the machine M3, but the machine M3 is engaged for next 1 hour for processing of job A. So the job will be in a waiting condition for 1 hour, but not a machine. So there will not be idle time for the waiting of a job. Okay. If the machine is in idle condition, then we have to consider that as an idle time. Okay. So after 13 hours, because after 13 hours only, the machine 3 is free. So after 13 hours, we need to install the D job on machine M3, and D job processing time on machine M3 is 11 hours. So it will be out after 24 hours. Okay. So in this manner, we have to solve this problem. Okay, we have to solve this problem. And finally, you will get the processing time, total processing time. Okay, so how much time required to complete all the jobs processing on all three machines. So that will be considered as total elapsed time or total processing time. And you will get that total processing time as a 59 hours. Okay. And the idle time for machine M2 will be the addition of all these three times. 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 4, 14, 14 plus 4, 18, 18 plus 7, 25. So 25 hours is the idle time for the machine M2 and 7 hours only the idle time for the machine M3. Okay, idle time for the machine M3. In this manner, you have to solve this problem. I hope you have cleared all the doubts now. There is no question related to this chapter. From the next chapter, we will start our new chapter, chapter number 5, inventory control. Okay, chapter number 5, inventory control. Okay, the material will be available, study material and assignment MCQs, then the assignment numbers. Okay, one assignment is already provided to you. I think you have not completed. Second, third, fourth assignments I will provide on study materials. Kindly refer the study material. Okay, so all the PPTs are available, will be available. This chapter PPT is not available on study material, so I will put up today only on a study material, and you will take the benefit of that also. And yesterday also, so many students have not attended the chapter test also. So this is the scenario. Please be serious about your future. You are wasting your time for unnecessary things, and you are not focusing on your career goals or family goals, etc. Then how it will happen, how it will progress. Okay, you need to focus on your personality, your communication. You should be more curious about the facts or about the knowledge gaining things. Okay, but you are not that much. I'm seeing that so many students have a lot of negligence and neglecting the lot of things, not attending the lecture seriously. Okay, so these lectures and all that things are not for your examination. These are for your future benefits. All these things are useful. Okay, every point from this chapter, is implemented in the industry. Okay, some small scale industry will not implement the things because for the production planning and controlling department is required. Okay, special departments are there, and they are implementing this sequencing problems and all the things related to the production planning and control. All these things are implemented in the industry. Okay, so everything is important. Okay, and also this sequencing problem asked in GATE examination also. So find out the elapsed time, find out the idle time, find out the proper sequence, priority sequence. So this 1 mark questions are also asked in the GATE examination. So if you missed the lecture, you miss the knowledge, you miss the questions. Okay, from the interview, you miss the GATE examination also. So be serious about these things. These all the things will provide you good future in upcoming days. Okay, if you're serious for remaining time period, whatever the time period remaining from this final year, for that time period, if you're serious about yourself, then you will get better result. Okay, so we'll stop here for today, and next chapter we will start in the next lecture. You can put up your roll numbers in the chat box and you can leave.